delete the VWAP for a moment. That one as well. Okay, so as I just said already, very choppy and slow range-bound price action the last 2 weeks. Last week we had it to the upside, slowly grinding higher, and this week we have it to the downside. After we had this deviation on the weekend, that manipulation on Sunday, a lot of truck buyers, and then we shorted it here, that local Model 2. And after that, price has not given like very clean setups for me. Although the price delivery was pretty clean because we have just broke structure back to bearish right here. This was like the, let's draw it in quickly, the last higher low right here. This is the low that brought us into that high, so that's our mark section low. We broke that back to bearish, and since then we basically have been trending lower as expected. So yesterday we took out that weekly low, which confirmed or like fully confirmed our bearish weekly bias, and right now we are taking that low again, as we can see right here. So with a lower high, and right now we have a new low, but as I said at the from the start, if I want to flip bullish, I want to see accumulative behavior. So I want to see that we take the lows and then hold it. So far we are just clearly showing bearish price action. We are taking the lows, but too aggressive, and we are not really holding it. So until we start forming like a local range or anything, yeah, to me it looks pretty heavy. And what we see all the time is that a lot of selling. If we look at the sell volume as well, we can see that a lot of heavy sell volume is coming in, but also like some bottom shorts. So people ape in shorts at the bottom, and we get a little bounce before lower, and then we see volume increase again, bounce before lower, and it's basically what we see every time. Like here, high volume, and yesterday again high volume, bounce, and then right here again high volume. So right here we also have some bottom shorts, I believe. We will have a look at the order flow in a minute. So I can see that we maybe bounce a bit, but I do not expect us to bounce before we take out the daily lows, because we have once again the week daily low at the London lows. So currently if we look at the daily, also here we are clearly trending down, and today we have our daily high at hour 2, which is right here, which is a strong Asia hour. First like 2-3 hours of Asia are very strong to put in either your daily low or your daily high. In this case it's the daily high, and we have our London low put in at hour 8, which is like the first hour of London. That's a very weak pivot to hold as a daily low. So before I expect maybe anything of a bounce, although I'm still just bearish, I'm expecting lower prices, but I'm not interested in any bounce before we take out that daily low. So I'm pretty confident that we will take out the daily low, and from there we have to see what happens. Overall there is not much to hold price up. Let's just zoom out to the 4 hour. Yesterday we tapped into this 4 hour demand zone. So overall this is a whole demand zone, but it's not really significant. The only thing that I'm now keeping an eye on is like here we have wick supply, which is like 4 hour wick, but it's on the hourly or 2 hour. It's demand. Let's see which it is. Hourly. Yeah, so we have an hourly demand zone right here, and we have these lows, and that's like the most significant zone. So I want to see what we do in this zone. Maybe today another drop lower, then a bounce, and then I want to see what we do during the weekend. If we then start to show like some sort of absorption after taking these lows into that demand, then I'm potentially interested in longs for coming week to test the supply right here. Because Monday we dropped lower, broke structure back to bearish, where we left very strong supply behind on multiple levels. and we had an inducement right here, so we just front ran it, and then on the CPI on Wednesday we again induced the level, so we sold off before tapping into that supply, which makes that supply zone even stronger. However, it also acts as a magnet because the market loves to mitigate stuff like that, and we also now have like equal highs here, so I think sooner or later we will retest that zone. And if we just look at the price behavior within this range, we have extracted like every move. So here Violet move up, Violet move down, Violet move up, Violet move down, Violet move up, down. We're basically grabbing all the liquidity that's available in this range. So I think that we are now creating some liquidity to the upside again. So I would not be surprised that if we for coming week maybe get some relief again and then go back to this supply and then eventually go towards our main target, which is still that range low. So this is the main idea I'm looking at.
Oké, ik heb dit op het web gevonden voor Go to More. Kijk maar even.
Shut up, Siri. So while I'm still expecting lower, and to me price action is still bearish, I'm not really interested in shorts anymore, simply because we are reaching the lower part of this range we have been in for a long time. So from a simple range perspective, you want to be bearish at your range high, that's why we shorted there. And now that we are reaching our range low level or extreme discount levels, the risk to reward for shorts decreases the lower you go. So I'm not really interested in fresh shorts here anymore. I now slowly want to start looking for potential rotations towards the upper side of the range again. However, for that I want to see a clean range be formed, because locally this is just bearish price action. So alert here. Let's see, do we have some demand right here? So it's also a 2-hour demand where price is basically now in. So this is some demand, but it's not really giving a reaction yet. Yeah, like here, 6-hour, the price created new supply. This is basically our new supply. So interproof and otherwise this looks heavy. Why is this supply? Because you break structure back to bearish right here. We have to buy candles, sell candle. So interproof and otherwise this can just be another lower high, lower low. But that's the level where I want to see a range be formed. If we show accumulated behavior, break structure back to bullish, then I'm super interested in longs back to the upper part. And as we know, markets love to range in the weekend and then get some manipulation late Sunday or early Monday. So if we look at that right here, so this is Friday, this is like Saturday. Saturday is almost always very, very slow. So like this is Saturday price action. Saturday often nothing happens, so I would not be surprised if you just see this. And then maybe on Sunday, later in Sunday, if we then get a sweep lower, or do that during Monday, that's going to be, but that's the usual manipulation phase, Sunday night or Monday price action. Then we can reverse and then go back to the higher part again, which will be in line with what we've been doing during this whole range. Because last week, this was our weekend range. And then on Monday, we formed a higher low and then pushed higher the rest of the week. Last week, this was our weekend range. Took that high in the weekend, and then on Monday we sold off from here and then we started lower. So maybe we just repeat that sequence again and then can get some weekend manipulation right here and then get a rotation back up next week. Simply extracting this range as much as possible. Which is also what you should expect if you're in a range, to just get rotations from your range high to your range low, range high, range low until proven otherwise. So that's what I'm looking at for today. I don't see anything too interesting. Yeah, needs more time. So have a look at the order flow. If we have something interesting. So this whole week we have basically been getting rejected by the VWAP after we had the distribution on Monday. Then we rejected here, deviated it right here, rejected here. So this is clearly resistance. And underproven otherwise, I expect that to continue. There is on the lower, let's see if we have some levels. There's not much currently below price. We have some stacked poor lows right here. But like between current price and those wicks from last week, welcome Abby by the way, there's nothing significant. So between here all the way towards these lows, there's nothing in this zone. So this is not really a PY or anything. So that's why I'm basically looking at this demand below, which is also aligning with our monthly low, which we have here, which was put in on Saturday, 1st of August. So often a monthly high or monthly low that is put in very early eventually gets taken out. And in this case, it's also formed on a Saturday, so during the weekend, which makes it even more likely that we will sooner or later take it out. So this is the next big PY I'm looking at for potential longs. And for shorts, you can look for potential scalps if we move up here, and then if you get like a low time frame trigger, you can look to trade it into that level. But for me, the higher probability models are longs from here, or if we get a move back up, shorts maybe from this supply, but like my main interest is at this super strong supply. So longs here, shorts there, anything in between is likely to be the same price action as we had here, which is just very slow and choppy price action. Likely not worth it to spend your time on. Let's see locally what order flow is doing. Okay, we have some pretty significant open interest increase, which is interesting. So the question is always, when like open interest, if it increases, it just shows you that new positions are being opened. You just have to find out, are that longs or are that shorts? We are increasing, price is going down, although here locally sideways, but what we have seen right here, I think it are shorts entering. Okay, let's show it right here. Every time we dropped within this range, like here, we see open interest increasing, price going down, shorts opening. Then eventually they get wiped out with a little sideways, which are probably retail positions getting out. And overall, the big positions are still holding strong because open interest is increasing while price is going down. So shorts are comfortable in their positions, underproven otherwise. Here we also see open interest increase while price is going down. So again, shorts entering the market, which is just showing that the price action is bearish and that the market is also expecting lower. The only way where this can turn the market around is if those positions get underwater. But so far, price going down, open interest going up, and here we see quite a lot of like a heavy increase, but price also going down. So this is again market positioning in shorts, which is good as long as market continues to go down. But if we start seeing signs of absorption and you get like a break of structure, then those shorts can act as well to move higher. So that's something to keep in mind. But overall, yeah, the market is positioning towards the downside, and as long as price goes down, those short positions are comfortable in their positions. Let's go to USDT. Very clean delivery, where we yesterday expected that high to be taken out after we swing filled our market structure low. We had that internal bullish breakout structure, which was basically the confirmation that we would retest this high, which we also did yesterday. And right now we just follow cleanly this high, higher low, higher high. Here we SFP'd it, broke structure, higher high, again SFP it, but internal structure was never broken to bearish right here. So this is just an uptrend. And right now price is right here. We now have a new market structure low. Instead of this low, it's now this low. But price is now very, very close to finally reaching that upper supply, which has been the I have to clean up the chart this weekend. But after we deviated the highs we expected, or at least price went to the lows, and then we did the exact same as at the highs where we accumulated at the lows. So we expected a rotation back to the upper part of the range, where this is like the only significant supply we had. Here we had mostly liquidity, which was taken, and now price is close to supply. So that's a level where we potentially can see price stall. But for now, price is just showing strength and going higher. Also here, it's not yet a clean break, but it looks like it will. The price created demand. So until we start breaking structure locally to bearish, this just looks strong, and I'm expecting higher. So that's the view. I think overall market is just boring. Not sure if I will trade it at all today. So let's have a look at ETH. Yeah, basically the same. We had the Model 2 redistribution and that moved down. Then during CPI we had that move higher where we were looking for shorts. Did not get the entry. But now locally, yeah, like what is this price action? Super slow. Basically nothing is happening. So also here, yeah, you can start forcing something. You can say, yeah, we have buy side liquidity here, but to me this is just price action you should not pay attention to. And the higher probability model will come to me taking out this low or coming back into that supply. That's where I'm interested. Other than that, I remain bearish until proven otherwise, but I've said it multiple times. We have super clean distributive behavior. We are not showing accumulated behavior. So until proven otherwise, my expectation remains the range low, but I still need a short trigger. I'm not gonna short it here. If I want to get a short, I want it close to these levels. If I get a trigger there, then I'm interested in shorts to bring it lower. Otherwise, we are now at the mid-range, where it's like the lowest probability area to get involved. So not interested in trading ETH until we get some better price action. Sol, basically the same, nothing to do here. Although I start to like it more if we respect this range, because we had that bullish shift. So main expectation is to have a higher low here for a higher high eventually. With the highest probability zone for like the bullish retest of this range is this demand with the overlapping value area high and point of control of this range. So that's kind of a RIMC where we have accumulation or like a bullish range, breakout, retest, higher. And since we are trading now locally lower, we can draw our range from low to high. And this could nicely be in confluence that if we start taking out the low eventually, tap into that demand, go back in the range, break structure, that this could be like a Model 2 accumulation. And then this local accumulation is in line with that idea to mitigate this demand. So needs more price action, but could turn into an interesting setup eventually. But for now, also this is you do not want to position yourself with it, right here. This is super low probability to me. Hype, very strong. but tapped into that upper supply at like a very slight tap. And we have this new local range with tap 1, tap 2. As I said, can this be a distribution? Yeah, it could be, but not really one I like to trade yet. We do have a breaker structure leading up to our tap 2. So that's the requirement for model 2. However, the thing holding me back is that if we look at the volume profile, that price is now at the value area high. But overall you want to have that value area high higher up. And then if you have your breaker structure within your value area high, then that's what you want to see. Right now we are holding it, which is also like the 4-hour structure. So I feel like it can work out, but it's not a model it's too low probability. And also the 4-hour can just remain bullish right here with a higher low for a higher high. So this is the level. If we break 4-hour structure, then it's confirmed. But yeah, for now I feel like it needs some more time. But it can still technically be a high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Arnold has to go. All good, Arnold. Enjoy your weekend. Better to do than watch these boring charts at the moment. So yeah, I'm watching if we break structure back to bearish on the 4-hour, then it's likely that this was the high. But for me, it's just not a high probability model. Too many if this, if then that. And also, if you look at tap 1 and tap 2, I think price eventually maybe we break 4-hour back to bearish, then can get a move back into that supply right here. And if we then break structure, then this is a clean model 2 I'm interested in playing. But it just needs some more time development to turn into a high probability model. And especially if we start creating a nice liquidity trail, then this is a high probability short. Right now, I feel like this is forcing a model. That Tao has been teasing very hard, but it's just failing to break out. As shared yesterday, we had accumulative signs, but also distributive signs. Blah, blah, blah. Right now, I'm just looking at this new local range. Range low, range high. If we accumulate there, it can be a long. If we distribute, just in shorts. But other than that, yeah, mostly a lot of chop. And until Bitcoin will let alts fly, it's likely that they just chop around even more. Other than that, not too much. Let's go to gold. Traded yesterday that short on gold after we formed that Model 1 distribution. However, this was during Asia, so I missed that. But then this was a range right there. And then before we reached the technical target, which is right here, so the range low, price came into the mid-range right here with a very local Model 1 distribution. So this is the T supply. There's no reason to really come above that level. And then here we at like 1, 2, 3 with an internal bearish break, which was also at the VWAP right here. So took the short after that break, stop. I gave it a bit of room because it was not a high probability model, and then range low target like 2.7 R. So that one played out nicely, but now is the question. Right here we SFP'd our 4. Oh, yesterday I saw it differently, but actually here we have structure. So 4-hour already broke to bearish. It's weird. Why didn't I see that yesterday? I had this structure, but we wigged that and now pushed higher. Okay, Okay, let me clean it up because it's not clean to me now. Here we took liquidity. This was our distribution. Yeah, to me not super clean, so no edge here. Just gonna wait. And it's also weekend. I don't like to take new trades on gold with the weekend approaching. Last one, silver. So this is our range. We have basically, ooh, this looks more interesting. Because we have like a deviation and a bullish break back in the range. So that looks pretty good. Yeah, this is like the second breaker structure, because technically we also broke structure back to bullish here. And we have demand right there. And demand right there. Yeah, also quite a lot of liquidity indeed. Like here. Where this supply, for example, already got mitigated slightly right there. So if we can get a move for next week as well, we slightly tap into here, break structure internally back to bullish, then that's a clean long. Basically tap 1, deviation, tap 3, like a 3-tap setup for a move back to the highs. So this is definitely looking good here. What do we have? Yeah, for next week, this definitely has my interest. So thanks Kijos for sharing that. Yeah, and it is on a breakout, so that's also nice. Okay, keep me, because my alert, I'm not sure if it will go off, but keep me up to date with this one. Basically here I will see there's a 2-tap, tap 1, tap 2, can we get a 3rd tap there, and then rotation back to the highs. Interesting. For now, yeah, I'm not gonna take much more time because I simply have not much else to say besides what I already explained, and I think it's until we get some solid like new price action or volatility. Yeah, this is the time we have to endure super slow, boring price action, but that's with purpose, to let you lose interest before we get some solid price action again. But overall, this is still the internal range within the bigger range. So this is our main range low, main range high. Range high remains open, and now for the past month we have been in a range of like 6.5%. So the whole month price has been super, yeah, only look at this price action, like what is it? But overall we did very well, so nothing to complain, but yeah, like right now this is just waiting for better price action. So that's it. I'm not sure if I'm gonna trade today. I at least expect that low to be taken out. Pretty sure that will happen. could do for scalps, but overall, as I said, my interest is lower or higher. I'm not interested in getting involved in chop, especially not with the weekend coming up. More likely that we get some better plays late Sunday or Monday, and then next week, let's see if we can get that rotation back to the highs or not. So thanks everyone for tuning in again. Appreciate it. While the market is super boring, still love to see so many people being here every day, which is a strong sign of your character. So appreciate that, and for now, wishing everyone a happy weekend and happy clicking as always. So see you guys, and we stay in touch.